But under the present situation, there will be new cases that will be filed before the independent commission. And these cases will not interfere with the cases that are being filed in the Ombudsman. And so there will be no conflict of powers with respect to the cases that will be handled both by the commission and by the Ombudsman. As I said, they will be complementary.
Yes, just for the record and for the information of Senators Drilon and Chief Justice Puno, the Anti-Agriculture Economic Sabotage Council, which was a creation of Congress last year, September 2024, a Section 17 special term of prosecutors to assist the council, the Anti-Agriculture Economic Sabotage Council, in the expeditious prosecution of criminal cases covered under this act. The DOJ Secretary of the DOJ is hereby mandated to constitute a special team of prosecutors all over the country, which shall have the following powers and duties, among others: evaluate evidence gathered and submitted by the enforcement group of the council, act on criminal complaints directly filed by persons under Section 21, initiate and conduct preliminary investigation. So in this particular measure, which is now law, it is the DOJ that is mandated to create. So perhaps we can marry the two proposals, wherein it's the Ombudsman that will create a special team, or the DOJ will create a special team of prosecutors to address the issue or the cases recommended for filing by the ICI, by the Commission. Yes.
In fact, sir, that is one of the things that we felt would be important. With the point of Senator Drilon is very well taken. We don't want to add layers of bureaucracy to this thing. We feel, the business community, I think I speak for the business community, feels that the Ombudsman itself needs to be strengthened in order to handle this volume of cases. It's simple math, no? I mean, the volume of cases is in this affair alone, the flood control or whatever you call it, infrastructure alone, is so enormous that if you had to hand all of these things to the Ombudsman as it exists today, they would come to a standstill. The throughput would be terrible, you know. So we believe that they need to be strengthened as well. And I think a practical solution can be found.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Senate President Drilon. Speak before the mic.
Yeah. Okay. One of the suggested provisions I have in mind is to direct by law the Supreme Court to vacate the docket of one of the Sandigan Bayan branches and refer all the cases coming from the commission to that particular branch so that the trial can be done every day and finish it within the shortest period of time. Because that's one of our problems today. The delay in the resolution of the cases erodes the confidence of our people in our justice system. That is why I was just consulting with the if the Supreme Court can vacate the docket, and designate one division to handle all of these cases, it can go a long way.
Yes, and the delay has led to dismissals of cases.
Yeah.
In fact, the conviction rate based on the budget debates, the conviction rate of the Sandigan Bayan is 47%. Therefore, for every 2 cases, 1 is dismissed. Now, as to how long those cases were resolved is another issue altogether. So, yes.
Very quickly.
Go ahead, Secretary Babes.
Your Honor, just for orders of magnitude, just on ghost projects alone, 421 potential cases. Nothing else, just on ghost projects, 421 will land either in the Ombudsman or in the Sandigan Bayan. How do they handle 41 cases, 421 cases? Let alone the other projects, substandard, ghost projects pa lang, 421 cases.
And one case would probably include anywhere between what, 10 to 15 accused per
So,
case?
because everyone involved in those projects, we will include.
That is the Bids and Awards Committee, the
Contractors,
contractors, of course, the
Officers of the DPWH,
Yes, yes.
COA, everyone else.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Chief Justice Puno.
Yes, on that score, Mr. Chairman, this committee or the Senate may consider passing complementary laws on how to fast track the resolution of these cases. You know, creating special divisions in the Sandigan Bayan, maybe one or two, or if there is still a further necessity, creating a new, entirely new subdivisions. And perhaps the committee may also look at, how to fast track the resolution of these cases by looking at the evidentiary requirements. Maybe we can adopt some presumptions where after certain acts are proved, then the burden of evidence can be shifted to the respondents. And all these things are not new ideas. They have been adopted in other countries, and this prevented the snail pace resolution of cases. And so, as a complementary measure, you may like to pass special laws on the prosecution of corruption cases.
Thank you, and it might become a rider if we include that in this measure. So, yes, another bill. Yes. Would the DOJ care to comment on the debate as to deputization and or creation of a separate team of prosecutors?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I did not want to engage in a debate between legal luminaries, Mr. Chair, but just to give the committee some insights. The Department of Justice serves as the principal law agency of the government, and this is under the Administrative Code of 1987, which is why, and the two functions of the Department of Justice is to serve as the prosecutorial arm of the government. Hence, any deputization of prosecutorial functions is not really allowed, except under the rules of criminal procedure, where deputization to private prosecutors will be allowed, but they are still under the direct supervision and control of the public prosecutor. We have also reviewed the provisions of the proposed IPC, Mr. Chair, and we laud the objective behind the passage of the bill to address the grave issues of corruption that are being discussed right now in different public fora. But there may also be possible duplicity of functions here, Mr. Chair. Duplication. As already mentioned, the Ombudsman already has investigative powers. it might raise the question of what if the findings of fact of the commission would differ from that of the ombudsman, which would prevail. So possibly enhancing already our institutions in place, strengthening them, capacitating them more, giving them more maybe budgetary support, manpower support would be ideal. But if we understand why the committee would push for the passage of this bill, and the Department of Justice supports, subject to the submission of our position paper on how to refine
Yes, please.
other provisions of the bill,
Yes, please.
so that there won't be any legal questions that can be raised later on. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, please. And on that note, may we request the committee secretary to likewise send communications to the ombudsman, for the ombudsman, office of the ombudsman, to submit their position paper on this matter. Thank you. Yes, Apa, go ahead.
We just wanted to note po, from history, the ombudsman has actually only existed since 1988. Previous to that, a commission was granted, not granted, was given the powers to prosecute, and many others. That was the Presidential Commission on Good Government. Okay, so there is a legal precedent, right? But this was in the absence of the ombudsman, right, at the time. But once the ombudsman's office was formed in 1988, the PCGG continued to have those powers.
Yes, because both the PCGG and the ombudsman are constitutional entities, and therefore they can. It'll have to be harmonized.
But the PCGG was not under the Department of Justice, as far as I
it
know.
was not. It
Yeah.
was not. Yes. Yes. Okay. We note that. I don't have. Yes. Justice Reyes. Go ahead.
We take note of the confines, as mentioned by Secretary Dillon, and we'll be very happy if the powers suggested by the Chief Justice Puno will be given to us, because I have noticed that there are some powers we lack, that like bank secrecy law, tax records. You can imagine that the flow of money was by cash, so it's difficult to really trace how the money went about. So we need these financial banking rules to be able to perhaps determine where the money went and who got the money and the amount. And of course, we would also like to have the power to look into text messages of these people, because I'm sure that one way or the other, exchange of money was done through a text message between the official and the contractor. At any rate, we are so happy with the suggestions and of the Chief Justice, and we would like it to be adopted as much as possible by this committee.
Thank you, Sec Babes, and then Chief Justice Puno.
I'd like to also mention the importance of immunity from lawsuit for the members. Kawawa yung member dyan after they retire. Mauubos sila sa lawsuits.
Kaya baka hindi na mag-imbestiga. Papetik-petik na lang, di ba? Okay, yes, we know that. Go ahead, Chief Justice Puno.
Yes, on the lack of power of IPI. I note the statement now that the money that is the subject of these crimes do not anymore go to the banks. They are physically deposited to, if we are to believe it, in apartments, in condominiums, and so on and so forth.
Condominiums, which are also fruits of the illegal
Yes.
wealth. Yeah.
But that raises the question, Mr. Chairman, on whether you should give this commission the power of search and seizure. That is the question.
Well,
Of course, consistent with the protection given in the Bill of Rights.
yes, we will note, but that's very interesting. Or maybe that the commission can secure the warrants direct from the Court of Appeals or search warrants direct.
Self, if I understand it,
Is for the commission to be able to have the power to seize
Yes.
and to. Yes, we will.
Or go to the procedure in our terrorism law,
Yes, there are provisions in the anti-terrorism
where
where the council can.
you go
just-
to the Court of Appeals.
Yes,
just to remind our colleagues, we abhorred the system of ASO during martial law. Let us not put that back into our statute books.
The proviso is that consistent with all the protections in our constitution, especially the protections in the Bill of Rights. But that is one kind of a solution. They
Yes,
can go
yes.
to the Court of Appeals, and again, the Supreme Court can designate specific divisions of the Court of Appeals to handle this matter so that the process will be very speedy.
yes. Thank you, Chief Justice Puno. Yes, Justice Reyes, go ahead.
Yes, regarding search and seizure, I have been toying with the idea because if an office is engaged in wanton fraud, and we know it's happening there, we should be able to take hold of that entire office. Nobody can be allowed to remove documents, and the employees will not have access to that room until we have gone through every record, every USB, everything that's there inside. That way, we can really be able to notice or discover some wrongdoing on the part of that office.
Yes,
think
I
this-
remember
this-
initially you were expressing serious concern or grave concern about the burning or destruction
Yes.
of public documents.
Yes, as per record now, the burning in Quezon City does not involve flood control projects. But I did had a meeting with the COA, and I told him that you have to secure all the records of the COA because as an investigator before with the Ombudsman, I know that there's a tendency for the criminals to burn down the office, which happened in the Cebu scandal when they burned down the entire Treasury building in the 1980s.
It may not involve flood control projects, but what about farm to market roads? Yes, Mr. Rongpin, apa?
This is actually one of our issues naman that we are trying to work with the DBM about. The issue is transparency, right? A lot of government agencies are resisting digitization because they want to keep everything on paper, right? And when you keep something on paper, it's not transparent. You have to go there to request access to the documents. You can't just find them online, right? So this is a struggle that we've been having, and the DBM has shown great initiative in this, no? But you know, the other guys, DOJ, DBWH, we need these things online,
BOC.
not on paper.
BOC.
BOC, BIR. Yan.
Well, the anti-agri-economic sabotage laws mandates that within 90 days of September 2024, the single window digitalization should have been operating. So that's not the case yet. Thank you.